It's 6:43 now to the legal landscape. Our legal analyst, attorney Dan Adams, joins us every Monday, breaking down the biggest cases happening across Wisconsin and the country. Good morning to you, Dan. Let's start with that shocking news out of Hollywood. Nick Reiner, who's accused of murdering his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. He was in court last week for an arraignment, but this case took an unexpected turn. Can you update us on what's going on and what we might be able to expect in 2026?
Sure. Good morning and Happy New Year, Mallory. Nick Reiner was in court last week. His lawyer, very well-known lawyer Alan Jackson, withdrew from the case, and the LA County Public Defender is now his attorney of record. Certainly something we did not foresee just a week ago. In every mental health oriented case, there are two aspects. One is whether or not Reiner is fit to sit in court and whether he can understand the proceedings and reasonably aid his defense going forward. So that's the challenge they have right now, is to restore him to some type of competency so he knows what's going on. That's not uncommon in a mental health type case. The second aspect is, assuming they are able to get him competent and back into court and able to help his lawyers process what's going on, they're going to be pursuing a not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. Again, not very uncommon here. Whether or not he knew the wrongfulness of his actions, whether he was able to comport himself with the law at the time of the homicides. That is what's going to happen in the next few months. This could take really all of 2026, maybe even longer, depending on how long it takes for him to regain competency. But again, we're going to be following this probably all of this year.
Yeah, definitely a huge story. A lot of people surprised to see he does have a public defender now, coming from a pretty wealthy family, but a lot to watch over the next year. Switching gears to Nicolas Maduro's highly unusual court case pending in a federal district court in New York. We know he made his initial appearance last week. What do you believe the next steps in this case will be?
Sure. This is, again, this unprecedented, abduction of a foreign head of a foreign state, and then to introduce him into the American criminal justice system. This is something really without precedent. And so with that, there's going to be legal challenges. Being in our American legal system, he has all the rights of any other defendant, the right to litigate, certainly down the road, the right to discovery and to confront his accusers. But for the interim, he's going to be bringing probably two challenges, maybe more, about the legality of this prosecution. One is kind of a corollary to what Donald Trump himself brought as a defense in the January 6 prosecutions, which is, hey, I'm the head of state. You can't prosecute me for things that were done as a head of state. I am immune for those official acts. That's, again, given that he's a foreign head of state, there's going to be a difference there. And there's not a whole lot of case law. Obviously, we haven't done this before, so he's going to have a pretty novel defense there. He's also going to be able to challenge his arrest by the U.S. military. There's something called the Posse Comitatus Act, which prohibits the military from engaging in law enforcement. So he'll have a motion to dismiss based on his abduction by our U.S. Delta Force in that action in Venezuela. So he's got a couple discrete actions to take before the case really gets going. Obviously, if he loses those, he has the right to appeal those. But we'll also be diving into the discovery. What is it? What evidence and witnesses does the government have to prove this conspiracy case that they've brought against Maduro? Again, in talking about how long this will take at least all of 2026, probably all of 2027. Incredibly novel and complex and different type of case going in the Southern District of New York here.
Yeah, we are just at the starting line for that case for sure. Dan, thank you so much. We'll see you again next Monday for more of the legal landscape.